Hello, am I audible?
Hello, bro. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let us just have a brief review of what we have discussed so far. And this is the introduction. We have discussed how to comment in Python. We have discussed keywords and hope you are familiar with some keywords. Actually, I'll be discussing some examples today. So, just I'm giving a revision like this. These are the keywords. The keywords so far we have used. What have we used so far? If you remember, we have used a while loop, a for loop, and we have used the and if, elif, else, for, import, is, in, not, or, yeah. So far we have used these keywords, and we'll be also using the remaining keywords in our coming sessions. And we have discussed about identifiers and their naming rules and variables and what is a variable and how we declare a variable. And we are very clear that any keyword should not be treated or should not be used as a variable. We have discussed some basic data types or primitive data types in Python. And I also covered this text type, numeric type, sequence type, mapping type. I just gave you the names. In detail, we'll be discussing in the next sessions. And we have also seen if you declare a variable, what is the type of variable using the type keyword. And using the ID keyword, we have seen the memory location of a variable. And we have discussed the operators. So to solve the examples today, these operators will be useful for us. So I would like to remind them: arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, identity operators, membership operators, and bitwise operators. Hope this is recording. Okay. Arithmetic operators, just some arithmetic calculations. You are familiar with them. Something you need to remember is this modulo operator, exponential operator, and floor division operator. Remaining operators are familiar with you people. I mean, just the mathematics you do there. And these are assignment operators, just equal to, and the shorthand notation will be useful to reduce our code using shorthand notation. And these are the comparison operators. Following operators we will be using in our conditional statements. So these comparison operators are used in the conditional statements, like I have used in if loop, so if conditional place, or in for or while loops. In the place of a condition, I'm specifying them. With that, I'm going to check if my condition is true or false. This will be useful in our programmings which we are solving today. And logical operators and or not, bitwise operators, bitwise and or not, XOR, right shift, left shift. All these operators will perform a bit by bit manipulation. And some special operators like is not, identity operators, and membership operators, in, not in. And we know how to print in Python using the print keyword. And we also know how to take a input, how to use the format keyword, and using the placeholders, and type conversions, converting one type into another type. It can be either explicitly or implicitly. And this is about taking an input from a Python and importing a particular module to our file, so that we can use a predefined modules. Like I have imported a math module here. I'm using the pi value directly without defining it, and also some factorial values. We can do a direct factorial using the math module with the function back factorial, exponential, power, and floor, some other functions which are in the math module. And we have seen an example. And coming to control structures, we have seen them. We have seen the selection or decision control statements, simple if else, nested if else, and repetition, for loop and while loop. So far we have discussed all these things. With this knowledge, we can solve all the 10 questions which I have given in a PDF. So did you people go through all these concepts? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So I hope for today it to be a interactive session so that I'll be asking something. If you can just mention me the answer, I feel like you have learned. Okay. So if you are having any doubts, you can just ask me. It's not compulsory that you need to answer everything. If you can answer, I feel like you have learned that. Okay. Yesterday I have told how to create a file and run it in Ubuntu or our Linux operating system. You may there might be some confusion regarding that. If you are having any doubt how to run a program in my system, then I'll be explaining it again. Yesterday, I think someone asked me in the last, like, some question. I have listened some question, but there is no power. I didn't answer it. Who is that?
Sir, it's me.
Yeah,
Latif.
Abdul Latif.
Yes, sir.
What did you ask yesterday?
I have asked that you are using the command prompt. Huh?
Yes, yes.
Now the code which we have written in this collaboratory, you just have copied in the notepad and used it, or like what? Means you just saved it on desktop and using desktop you have opened it now.
Yes. Okay. I'll just show you with another example so it will be clear for you people. First thing is, to run a program in any operating system, you need to have Python package. With this Ubuntu or Linux operating system, we will be already having a Python package in this. It will be inbuilt with the package with the software which I have installed. Or if you are coming to the Windows, you need to install some IDE to run Python programs. Something like PyCharm or Anaconda is nothing but simply using this Jupyter notebook only. Or Python IDE, you'll have a separate Python IDE where you can install it. There, you just need to create a new file and just run it. You will have an option called run in the file itself. You need not to worry about that. And coming to this Linux or Ubuntu version, to run our program, first of all, we need to create a file. I'm creating a file. Let me name some A or example. With this file name, I need to add an extension called .py. Py refers to Python. Py means Python. I have opened the file. I'm just increasing the font so that it will be visible for you people. Hope it is. However, let me see what is the next question. Python program to check if a number is positive or negative or 0. Very simple program. You just see how I write it. First thing is, yesterday I think your name Akshay, I think you have asked me whether we should when should we use this input function or like something like placeholders or dot format, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Now you say me, should I take a dynamic input or static input?
Dynamic.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
It's
Bro, can you do okay? If it is like how dynamic means like one hash, right?
No, ash. We use ash
Hash.
for comments.
Okay. For the size of the wording.
That is in our notebook. In our
Okay.
Python, this notebook, what do you call it? Jupyter notebook. Actually, it is a format of Jupyter notebook, Google Colab. Here, to write, I'll just show you how have I written this block. So you will understand. See, like this I have used here. What I didn't use a hash here. If I use hash, see what happens. It has become a heading. Okay.
Okay.
I have used double asterisk, so it has become bold.
Okay.
And this is just a common text. Here I have added a image.
Okay.
This is only restricted to this Google Collaboratory. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the Python or Python program. In Python programming, the hash is used to comment a line.
Okay.
Comment a line. I'll just explain everything clearly. Not at all a problem. So what is static input? Static input is you are giving your input in the code itself. Let me say I'm giving a number n is equal to 10. This is a static input. Okay. And
Okay.
I'm defining a variable value. I'm defining a variable value in my text file itself. Or here,
A is equal to like that.
I'll just see some. Here I have initialized sum and I write. This is called as static input. Here I am already defining my variable's value in the code itself.
Okay.
If I am taking a input from terminal or console, if a user enters the input while we are running a program, then we call it as dynamic input. Okay. To take dynamic input in Python, first of all, we need to have a variable where our value will be stored. Then we have to use a keyword called as input, and it is our wish whether to write the something like this, enter a number. You can either specify this comment like enter a number or not. It's up to you. If you mention it here, it will be useful while we are running. I'll just show how it is useful. Let me just complete the total code.
Once again, what is meant by static input?
Static input is we are going to give a input some value to the variable in the program file itself. Okay.
Okay. Like n equal to 10 is a static input.
Yes. So if at all I am going to give this value n 10 to n, then I need to use this. See, while running the program, I'll be taking input as 10. So I am taking that input while I am running the program, right? In the time of execution, that we call as dynamic input. If you are going to give an input in our text file itself, that means there will not be any interaction with the terminal and our program. Whenever we write, if we give all things as static and just run the program, it gives the output. So if you, in the first example, I have given a value called 10. If you would like to check for another number, I need to change my input, right? So in that time, what I need to do, I have to again open my text file, again change this 10 value into some 20 value, again go to terminal and check the output. Yes.
Okay.
So to avoid all such clumsy process, what we do is we directly take a dynamic input so that when we run in our terminal, so I can just open my terminal here itself. It will be opening with, what is this? Yeah, it will be opening like this. Here I have named a file example.py, right? So let me enter that. First, I need to use a keyword called as Python and the file name example.py. This is my file name. If I run it, it just executed. That's it. There is nothing I did in this. Right? Actually, I didn't save it. I have kept input, right? I didn't save it. I'll just run it again. So what it is asking, there is some error. Actually, we should not use any indentations like this. Python is a indented language. So what it has asked me, it asked me to enter some value or enter a number. Okay. Let us see if you do not mention this thing. I have just used something like this. Just I am using n is equal to input of, and I have saved the file, and I'll just run the file again. I'm stopping it. I can use Control Z to stop the execution, and I'll just execute it again. It is showing me nothing, but my cursor is blinking here, right?
Yeah.
And what does it mean is it asks me to enter some value. Just I'm entering a value. I'm clicking enter. Yeah, the program is ended. Simple. There is nothing to do after this after taking this input, right? So it just ended.
Okay.
Okay. Now just let us see. I'll print the n value. What's in it? Now I will again take a input 6 and it is printing the value 6, right? So, and
And
I'll just run a program once again and I'll take input 12 and it has printed 12.
okay.
Okay. When you use static input, what you need to do is you need to comment this. You just need to define some value to the variable n. And if you just run it, it directly gives me the input. It does not ask for me any input value, any dynamic input value. It won't ask for anything. It directly gives me the input. So if I need to change this 10 value, again I need to go to my file and change its value, save it, come back, and again execute it. Fine. Did you understand the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
In dynamic input, how it would be work?
In dynamic input, how it works?
Yeah. In static, like we given like we change the n value, and it without doing anything, it was printed, right? So when it comes
Yes.
to the dynamic input,
When it comes to dynamic input, first of all, we need to give a input in the terminal itself. Okay.
okay,
Here I am asking for a input. I'll specify something so that you can understand. Enter a number. It's just something that I am entering. Whatever you can enter here anything, or you can leave it blank. Even though you
okay,
leave it blank, it will ask for a input value. I have saved it and I'll just run it. It is asking for me to enter a value. Let me say I have entered 9. Now the following 9 value is assigned to my variable n. So when I am printing the n value, it prints a
it will
value
print
of
9.
9. Okay.
Okay, no understand. Yeah.
Yes. Let us see another example. Let me say 1444. It has just printed that value. In such dynamic inputs, the usage is you need not to go to file again and edit it. You can just operate your program in the terminal itself.
Okay.
So there is nothing much whether to give a static input or dynamic input. It is based on the program that you write. And if you are participating in any competitions, they will not ask you to take static input. They will be giving some multiple test cases, right? So definitely you need to take dynamic input.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. I'll continue with this program. So can someone give me the logic how to find whether the given number is negative number or positive number or a zero? If someone says the logic, I'll write it. It's not a big deal to say the logic.
Comparing with 0.
Okay. Yes. Comparing with zero.
No, sir.
I'll-
If a is greater than, if n is greater than or equal to 1, a is positive.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Well, if a is less than or equal to -1, it is a is negative.
Okay.
Else a is 0.
Yeah, simple. Let's do the same thing. I am going to have a if condition. In the if condition, I am going to mention n. Let's just deal with a single integer 0 itself. If n is greater than 0, without using any equal to operator, if n is greater than 0, what I will do is I'll just print the n value. If n is greater than 0, the given, I will use format. I'll show you some other thing. I have entered something like this, right? The given value n space. Again, if you mention something like this, given value n is positive. The given value n is positive. Just let us check whether it compiles. I'm giving some value 5. what it has shown to us? It has printed the given 5 is positive. Yes or no? Actually, we'll be using
sir.
format specifiers, format, what I say, format keyword, and we'll be using placeholders to print a n value. Here I have not mentioned the n value, but the compiler itself has taken the n value as 5. Okay. You can print in this manner, or what you need to do, the given placeholders n value value is positive. So you will be using like this dot format of n. Now you see the output again. Still the output will be same. The given 7 value is positive, right? It's up to you whether you use this format specifier, this placeholder, or you just directly print a statement, or you can also print like this. The given value is positive. You need not to mention the value number also. You have entered some value 7 and it is saying the given value is positive. To just make sure that we are clear with the given value, if you just want to print the given value also, we need to specify this thing. We need to specify format specifiers and use this format keyword and mention its value here, so that it will give us the output. Fine. Fine. Now, if this condition fails, what is happening? The program here itself, it is ending. So to continue with my program, what I use is I use elif. So if this if condition fails, what happens? It jumps to elif. In elif, what I am checking is n less than 0. If n given n value is less than 0, I'll just copy paste. This is negative. Fine. Simple statement. The given n value is negative. Just I'll be using else, and I'll print the given value is 0. So for the question, is my code completed, or I need to add something extra for this? So if I give some value, will my code answer it? You people are thinking. I'll just run it. It is asking me to enter a number. I'll enter 0. The given 0 value is 0. Let us take another input like -15. The given value is negative. Let us take 9999 and some big value. Again, it is saying the given value is positive. Is our program completed?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Completed.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Clear, sir.
Okay. So, are you people having laptops with you?
Yes,
Come
sir.
again?
Laptops
Yeah.
to do programming. You are having, right? So,
Yeah.
you might be using Windows.
Mine is Mac.
Yes, sir. Windows.
Or Mac. Okay, it's up to you. It might be Mac or Windows. However, if you are not interested to run your program on system, or you just don't want to compile it offline, and if you want to go offline online, let us just copy this program. Yesterday in group I have sent you a link, right? I have asked you to explore this, how to use it. It is a platform called JDoodle to compile Python programs. If you write your program here and just execute it, it will give us the output. It is our yesterday's program. I have just kept it. I'm giving a static input 5 and I'm converting it into miles and printing that miles. whenever we use hash, the following lines will be treated as comments and will not be executed. You just see, I'm running the program. I have used double brackets. It has given me the value. Okay. This is another online compiler. So it will be flexible for you people to use it. If you are interested to use this Google Colab itself, then it's not at all a problem. But if you want to use some other platform to execute your programs, you can use this platform, JDoodle. Let us do another program here. So here I have taken a static input and I have given some output. It has given me some output. What if I take dynamic input? In this compiler, what I need to do is I need to specify my value here. Let me say I have specified my input value 5 here. Here I'm only taking a single input. So I will only specify 5 and just run the program. What happened? As it is taking n as a string. So what we need to do? We need to convert it into integer. Here you might get it out. Yeah, someone can ask. No, didn't no one get it out here? See, now the program executes. The given 5 value is positive. So can someone just explain me why the program in my system has compiled previously without converting it into n, but not in this platform?
Because n is string, sir. That's why we convert into integer.
Okay, n is a string, so it cannot compare it. But here I have not converted this n value into integer value, right? But still this program is executed here. Yes or no?
Here we given the dynamic value like n is a 5.
Okay. Here itself, I have also given the dynamic value only. I didn't give any static value here. This is my programming file. Here I have not defined any static value. I have given it as a part of dynamic value only. But still, I have got the error previously. I actually you people don't know the answer, but I'm just trying whether you can answer or not. I'll just let you know the thing. Here, whatever the Python version I am using, it is 3.7.4. Okay. In 3.7.4, whenever we use a keyword called as input, it will take the given input as a string format. But in my system, I'm having a Python version of 2.6. So in Python 2.6 version, input keyword just takes inputs as a integer only. Let me take a string. It gives me an error. It is giving me an error here. In Python 2.6, to take a string as an input, we have another keyword called as raw input. And if I just take a raw input here, it takes. Here it gave me an error when I used just input. And when I am using raw input, it has taken the string also as an input and compared its value. So one thing you need to remember is whenever we are using Python 3.6, most probably you will be using Python 3.6 only. Python 2.6 is the older version. Python 3.7 or something. Python 3x, 3.x, 3.6, 3.7, 3.71, 72, 73, 74. All there are many versions. Most probably we'll be using Python 3.x version. In Python 3.x version, you need to convert the value. Whenever we are using input as a keyword, it definitely takes input in the form of a string, and we do not have raw input in Python 3.6. Okay, is that clear? This is the major difference between these two versions.
Sir?
Okay, any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, you have in your system compiler, you have used AA as input now.
What? A?
Not this online compiler. That system. Can you once open the system compiler?
Yes.
In this you have given a as string as a input and it showed it's positive now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Means it will calculate its ASCII value, sir.
Yes, it will calculate the ASCII value of that string.
If
Simple.
we keep minus symbol, then it shows negative. Huh?
Yes. Actually, will there be a minus string?
That's what I think.
There is nothing like minus string.
First,
It is a string. Each string, each letter or each word in this string is having some ASCII value, which is a positive value, right? So
yes, sir.
it will always be a positive value. The minus symbol
But-
here is taking in the form of a ASCII value, not in the form of a integer. Okay. And however, a string cannot be a positive or negative number, right? Yeah. Actually, to show the difference, I have used there nothing in it. But when you are using this Python 3 version, you need to convert the input. When you are interested to manipulate with numbers, you just need to convert. Let us just check if our programs executes here in the Python notebook. It is asking me to enter some value. I'll enter 8 minus 8. Yeah, minus 8 is a negative value. You can either use this as your coding platform, or you can use JDoodle as your programming platform, or you can run your program on your system itself. Which shall I use? Based on your interest, I'll be using
Google Colab, bro.
Google Colab only. Okay, fine. We'll be using it.
It's easy for everyone. Everyone can access this one.
Yes, yes. Okay. Google Colab. Fine. Here it is also like a, what do we call? Interactive thing.
JDoodle.
Here it is asking for input and we are specifying the output. It is like terminal that thing. Okay, I'll be using this only. I just would like to introduce you with this other platform. So you can
Bro,
run it.
Anaconda also is the same like this. Google Colab, right?
Yes, yes. Anaconda. In Anaconda, you will have Jupyter Notebook. That Jupyter Notebook is as it is. Both are just a copy versions.
Okay.
The online
That-
version of Jupyter Notebook is nothing but is Google Colab.
Okay. Yeah, install Anaconda.
Hmm.
And after that, I like the Google Colab. It was easy to do everything.
Yes. And this Anaconda, as it is a large size file, it might take long time to run or compile programs. It takes
Yes.
time to open the application itself. If you are using this Google Colab, it will be easy for us.
Okay.
And actually, I do programs in this Python JDoodle. If I am supposed to do some program, I'll just do it here and just check for the output. Okay, for you, I'll be doing it in Google Colab itself. Let us see our next example. And this is very easy example. I'm just asking you to print your name for 10 times. That means here what I am supposed to use program to print your name for 10 times. I'm just copying because I just don't want to enter that again and again. Okay, what is the concept that can be used to print your name 10 times? Just don't answer like you use print statement for 10 times and my name will be printed 10 times. That's not the logic of a
Using for
programmer.
loop.
Yes, that's it. We are just using a for loop and printing. So for I have specified a key called as I. This I can be any variable in I can be any variable, simple. I can be I or J or K or something like that or some name. Let me say it as a variable itself for variable in range of. So I am interested to print my name for 10 times, right? So I need to specify
9.
my ending index 9 or 10, 11. Let us see what happens if I mention
10.
9. No problem.
Yeah.
Prints up to 8.
Yeah, it just prints up to 8 if we use 9. Let's just check for it. Nothing wrong in that, right? print of, and my name is Neeraj. I'll just print it. Let us just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why 9? 9? Did it get 9 times? 4? Yeah, I just got it 9 times. Okay, here the starting index is 0, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, by
It's
default it
0
is
to
0.
8.
Yeah. And it also, the variable also considers 0, and 0 to 9 it is 9 times. And as 0 is also included, it comes to 8. 0 to 8 there are 9 digits, so it has given me Neeraj for 10 times, sorry, 9 times. If I use 10 here and just print, it prints for 10 times. Let me give 1 here. Usually we will be using 1 as our index, starting index in some programs. So if you are using 1 here, then my name will only be printed 9 times.
9.
Okay,
Then
just
is 9.
it
We're adding
based,
from 1.
it depends on the starting index I give. If I say my starting index is 5, my name have printed only for 5 times. Even though I specified 10 value here, both my starting and ending index values are important, so that I'll get some output. So as I have just asked you to print your name for 10 times, this is enough. It gave me value for 10 times. Let us just give it variable, comma, and some space here. So it just give me the number also. It giving me the number 0 to 9. It has printed for 10 times. And this is the program. Going into the
Sir?
next example. Yeah.
Yeah, used for variable in now. Is variable a reference there?
Is variable a?
A reference for that name, for our name Neeraj, or what is that mentioned?
Here variable is referring to the value in the range function.
Okay.
Here first initially the variable has a value of 0. After completing one iteration, the variable is being
Okay,
assigned
understood.
with value 1 and so on. Fine. Here for
I thought it's for
simplicity,
name.
no. For simplicity, we use I. Generally programmers use I.
Okay, understood.
It just became as a something, what do we call? We just follow that simple. We use I in the for loop or I in the while loop.
Bro, how we
Yeah.
can easily recognize which one we have to use, like a variable or I? How we
Yes.
can get
That
thorough like this?
it's nothing like you need to use something specific thing here in using it. While you are using some variable here, previously I have mentioned variable because you can use any variable. There is no restriction for you to use a same variable, but